This is the book of Psalms, chapter 33, verse 8 through 11. Let all the earth fear Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Let all the inhabitants of the world stand in awe of him. For he spake, and it was done. He commanded, and it stood fast. Yahweh bringeth the counsel of the heathen to naught. He maketh the devices of the people of none effect. The counsel of Yahweh standeth forever, the thoughts of his heart to all generations. Shalom, shalom. Before I begin this lesson, I want to give all praise, honor, and the glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, bishop, and elders of Great Millstone that rule well, and peace and blessings be multiplied on all you brethren, pushing this word in all sincerity and in truth, to the hopeful elect, 144,000, and the rest of the great multitude, men, women, and children, that will receive mercy from the Lord in these last days. Shalom. It's the brother Dama Gabar here with another lesson, Lord willing, to edify through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right, as you can see here in Psalms 33, we're getting to the point to where, the earth is about to learn the fear of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right, and you're going to ultimately stand in awe of him, because the works the Lord is about to perform in these last days, his name is going to be truly magnified and feared. And, all of the proud, all that do wickedly, you're all going to be made stubble. You're all going to be judged, and you're all going to eventually have to come to the realization that the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob is truly real. All right. And all these nations are going to have to reverence and bow down and worship those names, the power behind it. And one of the main people that's going to have to learn the hard way, and which is ultimately being set up to be used as an example, to be ultimately humbled and to be brought down, is Esau, Edom, which is the so-called white man today, so that you can understand. All right. And the Lord is going to bring all of their counsel. Let's look up this word counsel. To not, meaning to nothing. All right. This word counsel is I saw. It says counsel, advice, the purpose. All right. Let's go with the root word. The word is ya'as. It says to advise, consult, give counsel, purpose, devices, plan. All right. To consult together, exchange counsel, deliberate, counsel together. And what does it tell us in Psalm 64 as concerning the wicked? They have all of these the secret counsels of the wicked. The World Economic Forum, the WEF, these elites, the Davos, all these different agendas and meetings that these devils have, they all come together behind closed doors to consult, give counsel, to devise plans to what? To bring in this new world order, which is basically, these elites trying to perform, bring in a technocracy to where they have total control over every person's life, everything that you'll be, your ability to move, buy, and sell, to have particular things, to use the earth resources, to be, to travel, to have food, water, shelter, electricity, power. All these things they're trying to consolidate in one system of control for themselves, to where they could decide who can live and who can die, who can have not, and set themselves up basically as God, put type of technology inside of humans, to where they can observe not only what's going on outside, but also what's going on inside of you. This devil's trying to be able to read your thoughts, put brain chips in people, have control, and to tap into your innermost, thoughts and emotions and concerns. And, he's literally trying to become the Most High via this technology, this technocracy. All right. But guess what? All of that counsel, his new world order, the Lord is going to bring it all to naught, because at the end of the day, the will and the counsel of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is going to stand forever, man. And there's nothing that anybody can say or do that's going to stop it. And all of these proud elites, they're all going to be humbled pretty soon, man. All right. And that's what I wanted to go into, because I was reading this article here. It was just a long title. It was a mouthful. It says globalist frontman Klaus Schwab tells elitist followers they must force humanity into a world ruled by AI and other dehumanizing technologies. You see, because just through this technology is how Esau is trying to establish himself as God. That's why you hear Noah Harari saying the blasphemous things that he is speaking about, how there's no more free will, that we don't have to fear, we don't care about the God of the Bible. That's fake news. We're going to be able to get inside of, he said what humans are trackable animals now, to where they're going to be able, through their technology, to be able to use it to basically, like I said, to be God, man, to give themselves such power and authority, over your life that they could dictate, how things operate via technology, like the Most High. You see, but hey, all of this counsel and all of this pride, all this shit is all going to be, it's all going to be come to naught, by Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, but we're just out here to give you warning and let you know what these devils are trying to do and how you should never, under any circumstances, bow down or, be coerced into accepting this man's his new world order agenda and counsel, because all it's going to do is lead you to being a slave to this man's technology, and you're going to be destroyed by Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right, it says World Economic Forum founder and director Klaus Schwab, speaking at the WEF's recently concluded summer meeting in China, has informed his elitist followers that ushering in the globalist agenda will require humanity to be forced into collaboration with the unelected organization, and the time for forced collaboration has now arrived. Why? Because these devils are running out of time. You see, these elites, they know about prophecy. They know about the will and the counsel of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, and ultimately what the return of Yahweh Shai signifies. But in the meantime, they're trying to go all out and trying to establish their dominance, their technocracy, trying to, somehow upset prophecy to where Esau can, get his birthright back. But it's not going to happen, He's literally trying to fight against Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai and prophecy and the counsel of the Lord, which he's going to fail miserably. All right. And like I said, the Lord is just, hardening this devil's heart so that he can be made an example out of. With all this technology, all of this money that he done spent into trying to establish this shit, hey, in 1 hour, it's all going to come to nothing, man. All right. And the counsel of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is going to stand. And these elites, they're all going into slavery. They're all going to be grabbed out of their bunkers, and they're all going to be the first crop of slaves for Yahweh Shai in the kingdom of heaven, man. Point blank, period. But we know that, the Lord is going to allow him to go forward with this to a certain extent before he's ultimately stopped. All right. Now, why is he saying we have to force these people? Because people are waking up, man. People are not going along with the bullshit anymore. People are really starting to see just how corrupt and how wicked and how, a lot of these so-called conspiracy theories are actually turning out to be true. That a lot of things that people have been saying as far as the corruption, that is taking place in the agenda of these 1%ers, people are starting to realize that it's not a game anymore, that these things are true, that the mainstream media for the longest time have been, deeming anybody who's been speaking about these things or exposing this damn devil are nuts. They're crazy. They're sea theorists. They can't be trusted. They're all these things. But now people are starting to see that, hey, a lot of these things that they saying were those sea theorist things are actually true. And these devils are ultimately being exposed because ultimately it's the will of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Scriptures tell you that it was that Isaiah or Jeremiah 49th chapter that Esau, he can't hide himself anymore. He will, the Lord has made Esau bare to where now, his own tongue and his own kind are spilling the beans, and they're exposing this man's agenda, and he can no longer hide himself. He's lost the information war, the sorcery and the wool he was able to pull over everybody's eyes. Hey, it doesn't have the same effect anymore. You see, and this is why he's speaking about we have to force it, because why? This is Revelations 12:12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the sea, of the earth, and of the sea. For the devil, who's the devil? Esau, Edom, is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. You see, and this is why now he's talking about, look, we have to force this shit on the citizens, because they're not going to willingly accept it, because ultimately people, they are waking up to the fact that we're the damn devil and these agendas are real. So now this is why you have to expect a lot of false flag things that's going to happen. You're going to have to start. We're probably going to see a new 9/11 type of situation that's going to be even more extreme than the last. They're going to bring in more lockdowns. There's going to be more pathogens, more sicknesses, more plagues. pestilences taking place. You might even have, some type of explosion happen. Who knows, what these devils are going to do. But we know ultimately they're going to have to force this agenda because, through their lies and their, the people are not believing the lies anymore. People are not going to mainstream news media to get information now. People are going to alternative news sites, which is why also there's a huge attack on censorship and, censorship on people that are exposing the truth, And this is why they're taking control of all of these platforms, all of these, media agencies, the news companies, these social media platforms are all being brought up by these elites so that they can ultimately control the narrative and have you people exactly where they need you to be. All right. It says Schwab made the declaration during his opening remarks at the WEF's annual meeting of the new champions, also known as the Summer Davos in Dalian, China. You see? And these is more of these secret councils, which, they're coming out with it. They'll let you know that they're having these meetings. They'll show you so much. But we know ultimately there's huge parts of these meetings that are not televised, that are not being released to the press. They'll give you just the fluff and puff part of it. But even within the fluff and puff parts, there's still vital information that can be filtered, through the scriptures and through people to expose ultimately what they're trying to do. This is why it's very important for you to really listen and pay attention to the words that these people are saying, because they're more devious than as they seem, just coming out of his mouth. But when you know their agenda and what they're ultimately planning to do, you're able to, pick up on certain things, and you're able to, put the pieces together, so to speak. It says he praised China for its economic policy. You see, because China is ultimately the model. That the way that China is, pretty much a dictatorship and a technocracy. This is the agenda that the elites wants for all the world, which they want to be the sole controllers of it. And if you don't know how it is in China, man, just go look up how the people in China live. They're all constantly being surveilled. They have social credit scores. If you don't have your digital IDs and your digital identification in place, you can't go buy and sell. Particularly, you can't sell. You can't buy. If you tweet things that are against the government, hey, they could restrict you from traveling. They basically have a technocracy over those people of China, and they want to bring that eventually here to the States. It says, which are the globalists as the model of top-down centralized planning in a high-tech surveillance state run through smart cities, smart electric vehicles, smart homes, smart appliances, smart meters, AI, digital IDs, and CBDCs, all of which hold one thing in common. They come with on-off switches, not under the control of the end user, which is we, the people, right? Because they want complete and total control via this technocracy. And this is what they're trying to establish here in the States. Everything is going to be ran and controlled. You'll be tracked and traced and monitored through every bit. I mean, pretty much your whole life, man. They'll be watching you in your homes through smart toasters, smart refrigerators, cameras everywhere, microphones. They're going to be watching you, man. And like I said, any time that you buck up or get cute or you do anything that goes against the agenda of the elites, they'll have the power via technology to like I said, to shut off your bank account, to shut off your electricity, to stop you from traveling. They can pinpoint you and come find you and lock you in prison. They could confiscate your apartment, your house, or whatever, government issue goodies that they have given you. They can, with the swipe of a button, take everything from you. So therefore, you would be totally dependent upon the powers that be. So therefore, you're going to be a complete slave, man. Right? You won't have free speech. You won't have the right to an opinion. You won't have the ability to use critical thinking or to think for yourself or to dispute any agenda that they force you to do, because they could just, destroy you, man. All right. And we know it's going to eventually lead to the MOTB, which is the mark of the which they will put inside of you, man. So this is what we're all this is why they got to force this shit. And this is why they're moving with such speed, because they are running out of time. And these devils know that Yahweh Shai is on his way back. All right. It says in their ideal world, see, and this is the council of these elites. This is the ultimate end game for them, which is their council, which is going to end, which is not going to end well, because Yahweh Bashem and Yahweh Shai is going to ultimately destroy them before they try to get these plans to to get this thing going. It says, in their ideal world, we live as slaves at the privilege of our masters. We get out of line, they can cut off our electric power, our electric car, our electric digital money, and everything. And I remember years back when they was talking about making the MOTB, the powers that be was trying to get it. They was asking the creators of the micro C-hip if they could embed within the C-hip an electromagnetic shock as a form of punishment for those that buck up and those that are, a form for them to be punished. You see? This is what this devil is talking about, man. All right. And we've been telling you this is the agenda of these elites. It says Schwab told the elitist participants gathered in China that they must force humanity into a collaboration with the unelected left. This is why Schwab told his globalist comrades at the previous meeting 2 years ago to expect an angrier world. Right. Because they're going to eventually, like I always say in my videos dealing with the MOTB and the mark of the what, they're only going to give you one option and one option only. Either you're going to accept it, bow down to it, or worship it, or you're going to be put to death, which we know that word apo, I can't think of the word right now. When you go to the word to kill in Revelations, I think that's the 13th chapter. The root word for the word kill is apo, which means to separate one thing from another. Or they might just literally just put you to death, put your head in the guillotine and just chop your head off and harvest your organs if you don't want to bow down to this New World Order agenda. But the main thing is that they're going to force this thing. Either you're going to have one or two options. Either you're going to worship it and bow down to it, or you're going to starve to death or die of thirst or be outcasted from society. See, and in that point, that's when the elect, the true faithful men of Yahweh and women of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, we're going to have to rely on faith in the Most High and be those pilgrims on the earth during that time. It says when you force people to live in ways that controvert their best interests, it tends to make them angry. See, this is why the scriptures tell you there's going to be sedition among men. They're going to be uprisings against the government. Civil war is going to be, all hell's going to break loose because people are going to fight against this system. People are going to, they're going to have to bring in martial law. They're going to have to bring in these UN troops and foreign troops to try to enforce their agenda on the people eventually at some point. You see? It says they know their policies related to a green economy, perpetual wars, severe restrictions on traveling, farming, eating meat, and a host of other activities considered crucial to a middle-class lifestyle would be extremely unpopular and cause civil wars on top of the world war they already have planned, you see? And this is everything that the scriptures and we've been prophesying and telling you is going to happen. Now you're just getting a more detailed, idea of how it's going to happen, mainly through these devils trying to implement this new world order. You see? And this is what Yahweh Shai is going to come back to destroy. You see, this is the counsel that the Lord is going to bring to naught. And at the end of the day, everybody's going to stand in awe of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai when he sends our Lord and Savior back to shake terribly this earth and to destroy these, these plans of these elites, because they're walking in hella pride right now. And that pride is going to be humbled, just like the Lord humbled Nebuchadnezzar. These devils are going to be humbled. And I'm going to show you that. It says, remember, as the 2023 World Government Summit, the globalists told us that there would need to be a shock event in order to usher in a new world order, like I was saying earlier. Now they're being even more honest in telling us that we will be forced to accept their new world order. See? And that's why I read this Revelations 12:12. And this is why you have this here also in the book of Job 14. It says, seeing his days are determined. See? Determined by who? Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, man. You see, because America was never created, nor was Esau's blessing forever. It all had a expiration date on it. And now we're at the time to where, hey, it's time for Esau to be destroyed and judged. You see? It says the number of his months are with thee. Thou has appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. You see, because they're only going to be able to do so much and go so far with this new world order, before eventually Yahweh Shai is going to come back and meet them with the brightness of his coming, and he's going to destroy them. It says, now they're being even more honest and telling us that we will be forced to accept their new world order. You see, and this is pride, man. See, this devil literally fighting up against Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, because he's basically saying, I don't give a damn what your prophets say. I don't care what the Bible says. I don't care what the counsel of the Most High is. We're going to do what we're going to do, and nobody can stop us. You see? This devil has a God complex, and it's going to be humble, you see? And this is Ezekiel 28:1. It says, Tyre, king overthrown, which this is spiritually speaking about Esau. This is verse 2. It says, Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrus, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, because thine heart is lifted up, and thou hast said, I am a God, I sit in the seat of God, in the midst of the seas, yet thou art a man and not God, you see? And this is what Esau believes. Like I said, go back and listen to Noah Harari, some of the blasphemous shit that he is saying. A lot of these elites, they say the same things. I forget who that devil was, but he was basically talking, saying that if you think you're going to stop me from becoming a God, I'm going to kill you before you kill me. You know, hey, these devils are hella proud, man. And they think through this technology and through all of their, you know, their profits and their, you know, owning all, you know, BlackRock and owning all of these companies, you know, they own basically the world, that they can't be stopped, man. And they think because they've been getting away with it for so long that the Most High is never going to stand up and do anything. Now, they're to the point to where they're like, look, we got technology. We can do this. We learn. You know, the Lord has given them ability to tap into certain sciences, do alchemy. They can create certain, you know, medical performed things to where they could change the genetic makeup of animals, of people. And they've been, you know, doing research of how to control the brain and frequencies and brain waves, that they're on some type of level of the Most High, man. But it says what? But thou art just a man. And the Lord's going to show you that you're just a man. All right. It says, though thy set thine heart as the heart of God. It says, but behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that they can hide from thee. And with thy wisdom and with thine understanding thou hast gotten thee riches, and hast gotten gold and silver into thy treasures. By thy great wisdom and by thy traffic hast thou increased thy riches, and thine heart is lifted up because of thy riches. You see? And that's these elites. You know, like I said, they got all this money. They got the money to research, to do all these things, to figure out all of these different type of, you know, mysteries of the world. You know, scientific breakthroughs, and now they got this AI and artificial intelligence and supercomputers and shit like that. You know, they can do particular things. Is gone to their head to where now they think they're on a level beyond Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. You know, they sending satellites into space. They're doing all these things. It's perverted them. You see? It says, therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, because thou hast set thine heart as the heart of the Most High. Behold, therefore, I will bring strangers upon thee, the terrible of the nations. Starting with who? Russia. All right. And this is how you know that Esau is just a man, because he can't stop. He's not going to stop, you know, this third world war from breaking out, nor is he going to stop the nuclear missiles from totally destroying and obliterating America. And Yahweh Shai coming back with the holy host of angels in the midst of this third world war and subduing all of their asses, man. So they can't stop what the counsel of the Lord is, though they're trying to fight against it, and though they feel like they're on the level of the Most High. It says, and they shall draw their swords against the beauty of thy wisdom, and they shall defile thy brightness. They shall bring thee down into the pit, and thou shalt die the deaths of them that are slain in the midst of the seas. Will thou yet say before him that slayeth thee, I am God? So that's the Most High mocking and talking shit. So here it is, when the Lord puts the spirit on the kings of this earth to ultimately to fully come up against Babylon in America and to destroy this place, nuclear missiles, you're not going to be able to stand up and say, you can't do that. I'm a God. Stop now. You know, you're going to be subject unto the judgment that the Lord has prepared for you. It says, but thou shalt be a man and no God in the hand of him that slayeth thee. And thou shalt die the deaths of the uncircumcised by the hand of strangers, for I have spoken it, saith the Lord Yahweh. You see? You're through. You're finished, man. You know, and you know, like I said, the Lord has appointed your bounds that you cannot pass. So go on with what you're doing. We know eventually how it's going to end for you. It says, to drive further economic growth, we must embrace innovation and force the collaboration across sectors, regions, nations, and cultures to create a more peaceful, inclusive, sustainable, and resilient future. And that's, you know, part of the lies, man. Because they'll tell you that the reason we're forcing this is because, we want to save the planet. We want to make things, have cultures to create more peaceful, inclusive. No, it's only going to be, and this is how you got to understand that the thought process of the devil. It's only going to be more peaceful and more inclusive and more sustainable for these elites, for them to have the control over every person on this planet Earth, so that they can dictate, who should have what and how much of this should be done. This is why they have a whole Depop agenda. This is why they want to get rid of a lot of people and useless eaters, as they state, so where they can have only a certain amount of people on this planet that they can control, that they can create a peaceful and more inclusive, sustainable world for them, to where they can be the lords and the king of it, while everybody else will be a slave and a useless, you'll be a slave to it. While, they'll have artificial intelligence and AI doing all of the menial jobs that you could produce, and you won't work. You'll just be on a perpetual CBDC, world universal basic income. You'll just be a slave, man, that's here to do the bidding and whatever the hell they want you to do, man. Point blank, period. All right. It says, at this critical juncture, the active participation of all stakeholders is essential to ensure a sustainable development plan. Of course, the biggest stakeholder of all, those paying taxes to fund governments, have no seat at the table in SWAS elitist meetings, right? Because in that near future, like I said, you're not going to have the right to free speech. You're not going to be voting who's going to be this or who's going to be that. Whatever they decide is going to be outside of your control. Or not. They're not going to ask for your opinion. You're just going to eat the Soylent Green, and you're just going to be living in a metaverse, living in some type of alternative world, while these elites are still going to be flying around the earth, eating real meat and beef and chicken and cows, drinking the finest wine, while you're eating your lab grown meat and getting pumped full of jump shots. You know what I mean? Eating your 3D printed fish. Barely having enough resources to just eat, barely surviving, eating just enough food to keep you alive for whatever agenda they want you to, purpose they want you to serve, man. It says, and that's by design. We are seen by these globalist predators as useless eaters, part of a herd that needs to be culled in order to preserve global resources for themselves. That's what Malthusians believe, and this is the and this is the world they're trying to create, but making you believe that you're going to have a seat at the table, you're going to have wonderful lives, but really it's going to be the complete opposite. Remember, never trust thine enemy, man. It says, below is another clip where Schwab touts the so-called fourth industrial revolution, such as artificial intelligence. This is why they don't need as many of us on the planet as in the past. AI will perform most of the tasks for the elites. They don't need as many human slaves, you see? And you people are just going to be a bunch of goddamn guinea pigs and lab rats for whatever, purpose they want to have for you. Because ultimately, they don't really need you. They're going to need you for whatever purpose they're going to need you to be here for. But, that's that. You see? So, hey, man, these devils are, moving with great. Oh, here you go. Is this the guy right here? Let me see something.
But in one way or another, we are so far, globally, we are so far above the population and the consumption levels which can be supported by this planet that I know in one way or another it's going to come back down. So I don't hope to avoid that. I hope that it can occur in a civil way. I mean civil in a special way. Peaceful. Peace doesn't mean that everybody's happy, but it means that conflict isn't solved through violence, through force, but rather in other ways. And so that's what I hope for. That we can, the planet can support something like 1 billion people, maybe 2 billion, depending on how much liberty and how much material consumption you want to have. If you want more liberty and more consumption, you have to have fewer people. And conversely, you can have more people. We could even have 8 or 9 billion probably if we have a very strong dictatorship, which is smart. That's unfortunately, you never have smart dictatorships. They're always stupid. So, but if you had a smart dictatorship and a low standard of living. You can have but we want to have freedom, and we want to have a high sentence. So we're going to have 1 billion people, and we're now at 7. So we have to get back down. I hope.
Yeah, you see, and this is Malthusian talk. You know, they want to get rid of the majority of you people, but then they'll, like it says here, they'll hide it behind the facade of environmentalism. It sounds like it's here to help the environment, but when they're talking about helping the environment, it's because they want to get rid of the majority of you people, you useless eaters, man. See, and this is the counsel of the wicked. This is what they're ultimately trying to establish. And this is why Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is going to come back and to destroy this devil, because he's walking in great pride, man. And this is ultimately what these devils are trying to do. And I'm going to show you an example of what pride is going to get you. All right. Same thing happened to Nebuchadnezzar is going to happen to these devils. They're going to be humbled greatly, man. And they're going to know that they're just a man. All right. And this is the book of Daniel, chapter 4, verse 30. And I'm not going to read the whole chapter, but go up. I mean, you know, you'll see you'll see what I'm talking about. This is Daniel 4:30. It says, the king spake and said, is not this great Babylon that I have built for the house of the kingdom by the might of my power and for the honor of my majesty? And this is the same spirit that these elites are in. They think that they're doing this on their own accord. They think that they're operating and moving outside of the purpose of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. It says, while the word was in the king's mouth, there fell a voice from heaven saying, O King Nebuchadnezzar, to thee it is spoken, the kingdom is departed from thee. And this is what we see happening unto Esau. His kingdom and his blessing is being departed from him. But he's going to fight tooth and nail to try to keep it and establish it, even to the point to where he's going to try to literally fight against Yahweh Shah, fight against the Most High. It says, Salakia. Salakia. It says, and they shall drive thee from men, and thy dwelling shall be with the beasts of the field. They shall make thee to eat grass as oxen, and 7 times shall pass over thee, until thou know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will. You see, and this is something that Esau Edom doesn't want to acknowledge, and this is why he's going to be humbled. You see how proud King Nebuchadnezzar was talking? To where the Lord had to humble that guy. And then he had to come to the realization that, look, this is me built, you know, it's nothing that you're doing because of your own accord, or nothing that you have brought unto yourself. It's all through the power and control of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. And the sooner you understand that, the more humble you'll be. You see? It says, the same hour was the thing fulfilled upon Nebuchadnezzar, and he was driven from men, and did eat grass as oxen, and his body was wet with the dew of heaven, till his hairs were grown like eagle feathers, and his nails like bird claws. And at the end of the days, I, Nebuchadnezzar, lifted up my eyes unto heaven, and my understanding returned unto me, and I blessed the Most High, and I praised and honored him that liveth forever, whose dominion is an everlasting dominion, and his kingdom is from generation to generation. You see, so he had to come to the realization that, look, it's all through Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. It was nothing about me that made me to gain all of this power and all of this wealth, all these provinces, all of this, this royalty and this position of power. It was through the Most High who ruleth forever that I had these things. And this is something that Esau will never do. But guess what? The Lord's gonna humble this devil, man, and he's gonna go from riches to rags in 1 hour, man. It says, and all the inhabitants of the earth are reputed as nothing, and he doeth according to his will in the army of heaven and among the inhabitants of the earth, and no one can stay his hand or say unto him, what doest thou? You see? So when the Lord has it's set out for you, there's nothing that you can do, nothing that you can't stop Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, man. And at the same time, my reasoning returned unto me, and for the glory of my kingdom, mine honor and brightness returned unto me, and my counselors and my lords sought unto me, and I was established in my kingdom, and excellent majesty was added unto me. What? After he acknowledged Yahweh Bashem Yahushua and praised the Most High. And he gave the full respect and understanding that it is through him and him alone, not through the false idols, not through the false gods of Babylon, but through the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Yahweh, that it was through him that these things have been bestowed upon me. Now I, Nebuchadnezzar, praise and extol and honor the King of heaven, all whose works are truth, and his ways judgment, and those that walk in pride he is able to abase. So did you hear that, Esau? You're going to be abased, man. All right. And all this shit that you're doing, it's all going to come to naught. All right. But, as it is our job as being men of the Lord, we got to warn and, let Jake know, look, these devils are getting ready to come down with it, because they know they have but a short time. But still, they're still going to try to fight against the counsel and the will of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah to try to establish this. And they're going to do whatever it got to take to try to do it. But ultimately, we know it's going to come to naught, and they will be abased, man. So with that, Lord willing, this was edifying. All praise, honor, and glory goes to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah for putting the spirit in me to do this lesson. To the next one, Shalom.